Welkom terug. Die navorsing op meerkaaie in die Kalahari, wat oor byna 3 dekades strek, het ook ander inligting na vore gebring, soos klimaatsverandering. Sedert die begin van die projek het die gemiddelde somertemperatuur in die Kalahari 'n paar grade gestyg. Natuurlik met gevolge vir al die spesies in die gebied. You mentioned something about climate change that you picked up through your research on the meerkat.
Yes. Well, when you study particular species for long periods of time, you're in a position to see how they change over time. And with the interest in climate change, we've been able to see how whether climate change is occurring here. We've been here for about 25 years. So we can plot the changes in temperature and rainfall over that period and see how that affects the meerkats. And what's happened here over the last 25 to 30 years is that there's been a progressive increase in maximum summer temperatures. It's got hotter in summer. There are big fluctuations in rainfall, but they don't show any pattern. They're all, as far as we can see, they're fairly chaotic. We get clumps of years of high rain and clumps of years of low rain. So we've been investigating the effects of the changes in temperature. We can show that there's a tendency for the rising temperature to be associated with higher levels of juvenile mortality in the meerkats.
It's one of a handful of really long-term sites where you've followed the fate of individual animals throughout their life. And I mean, it's quite outstanding if you think about how many meerkats we have followed. We've followed something like 4,500 meerkats from birth to death.
What happens to all the research?
So this project has got an amazing record of publication. In the 26 odd years that we've been here, this project has produced over 250 peer-reviewed papers on meerkats. The quality of our output is really high. It's all top quality journals. We might be stuck out in the Kalahari and be low key, but the research output is quite phenomenal from this project.
We worked in the Kalahari park for 7 years, and we worked on foot there. And when we started working on that, I thought lions won't be a problem because the meerkats have fantastic eyesight and they'll see the lions long before we do. But what we actually found out was that the meerkats are not bothered about lions, so they see the lions, but they just don't react at all. And they're quite likely to walk 20 meters in front of lions. And of course, if there's any problem, they can disappear down a burrow, but we can't.
Meerkaaie is nie baie intelligent nie. Gemeet teen ander spesies soos mense en bobiane is daar min ooreenkomste in gedrag. Maar is daar iets wat die intelligentste spesies, mense, uit meerkatgedrag kan leer?
I think the most intelligent animals are the ones which live in groups where the group members are not closely related to each other and they're consequently consistently competing with each other, like baboons. Baboons live in groups, or chimpanzees live in groups where individuals are not closely related to each other. So they're continuously competing for food, competing for resources, and all the time they're running little numbers on each other to try and get an advantage. Whereas with meerkats, it's much more all for one and one for all, and they don't do that kind of thing. And I think it's that kind of competitive, manipulative behavior that favours intelligence. And I think that possibly tells you something about humans, because humans, of course, come from a primate background. They're related to chimpanzees. They have normally in traditional societies and in modern societies live in groups where individuals are not closely related to each other. So I think our cooperation has developed through a different line. It's developed because we can recognise that there are times when it's important for us all to pull together. It's important for us all to sink our competitiveness for the common good, which is why you get more cooperation in times of war and in times of particular stress like that. But that, because of the human situation, because you're not dealing with individuals that are closely related to you, there's always selection for individuals to be selfish, to beat the others, to follow your own good, not the good of the group, And that's why you get events like Brexit happening, and you get politicians continuously prompting individuals to do something that is in their short-term interest, but not in their long-term interest.
Nou ja, mense is dalk meer intelligent as meerkaaie, maar ons kan dalk by hulle leer om minder selfsugtig te wees en meer te doen vir die span. Laat weet ons wat jy dink van die projek en meerkaaie. En stuur 'n e-pos na PRONTUIT by aktueel.tv of gesels saam op sosiale media. Tot volgende maandag, mooi bly.